All right, I am Mayor Meg Grenier, and as it is 6 o'clock, I will call this meeting to order. For anyone outside of the village staff who is attending this video conference, I would ask if you would please identify yourselves.
Bill Nevins.
John Stangle.
Eric Johnson.
All right, I will now do roll call of village staff. Deputy Mayor Eileen Nickel.
Present.
Trustee Seth Harris.
Present.
Trustee Diane Foley.
Present.
Trustee Brian Marsh.
Present.
Clerk Don Hanrahan.
Present.
Village Attorney Steve Rafus.
Present.
On behalf of the village board, I would ask all residents that we please keep our first responders, all essential workers, and those affected by this pandemic in our thoughts and prayers. Pursuant to Governor Cuomo's Executive Order Number 202.1, issued on March 13th, 2020, suspending Article 7 of the Public Officers Law to the extent necessary to permit any public body to meet and take such actions authorized by law that allowed the public to not be physically present at the meeting, but allowed the public to listen to or view such meetings via teleconference call or video conference, while recording and later transcribing of the meeting. Village of Menands Board of Trustees semi-monthly meeting is being held via Google Meets video conference to protect public safety and welfare during this COVID-19 pandemic. In an effort to conduct this meeting effectively, we ask those in attendance to please mute your microphone during the meeting. And as we are conducting only essential business, there will be no public comment. Any comments previously submitted to Clerk Hanrahan prior to the meeting and deemed essential will be read into the record. Governor Cuomo has extended the Executive Order Number 202.1 through April 27th, 2021. We will now open the public hearing in regards to overriding the 2% tax cap. And Don, would you read the statement?
A public hearing for the board members will be held at the Board of Trustees for the Village of Menands via Google Meet for the village on Monday, April 5th, 2021 at 6 p.m. for the purpose of local law number 1 of 2021, the tax cap override authorizing property tax levies in excess of the limit established by General Municipal Law 3C with regular meeting to follow. Such public hearings are open to the public and to present comments.
Okay. So as per guidance issued by the Department of Taxation and Finance, a local government may not impose or cause the imposition of taxes in excess of their levy limit without first complying with the statutory override requirements. This year, our tax levy limit was 1.3%, which is just a little over $30,000. That's less than our contractual pay raises. Retirement is up over $80,000, and healthcare is up 4%. So there's, the 30,000 is not going to get us within the means of the tax cap. So that's the reason for tonight's public hearing. And I'll now open it up for public comment. Go ahead, Bill.
Thank you, Mayor. And listen, without any other further information coming down from the state, I understand you just want to be able to go over the 2%, and I think you were talking about a 3.1% amount, if I remember the previous meetings and notes coming out. But do you have any other idea exactly what the number would be, or where we're at with the tax cap and where you need to be on the levy?
We couldn't exceed the $30,000+ that it would be. Is that answering your question? Like the total levy for us is, I think it was like 32,000 or 30 something in that range.
Right, I understood that part. Do you have an idea of what the number is you need to be at, though?
I don't know if I'm following your question.
If you can't go over 30,000, right, that's what this meeting's for, right? It's public comment. You have to have a hearing before you can vote a higher amount, correct?
No, we're not doing a higher amount. We're overriding the tax cap, the 2% tax cap. So to do the balance the budget, it would be the 3.1% as opposed to.
That is the number you're looking at, though, right? 3.1%.
Right, and then all of that will be again talked about at the public hearing next week for the budget. This is
Right.
just to override the cap.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Anyone else? All right, hearing no further comments, we will close the public hearing and enter into our regular board meeting. We need to approve the minutes for March 15th.
I move to approve the meeting minutes for the March 13th, March 15th, 2020 meeting.
So moved, Diane.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Warrant number 21, general, $93,944.51. Water, $1,859.71. Sewer, $151,216.50, totaling $247,020.72. Payroll number 22, $100,560.59. With that, that's all the warrants.
So moved,
moved.
Diane.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we've got transfers.
Yes. The contingency account, $3,500. Police computer software, $1,000. Police equipment miscellaneous, $2,500. From police full-time patrol to police overtime, $3,000 from full-time patrol and $2,000 goes to police overtime and police DWI patrol, $1,000. And from the contingency account, $10,000 for the water to go to laborers for $10,000. And that's your transfers.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Don, do we know what the work was for that water stuff?
It's for the labor, he said there's a change in personnel from the budget. I'm not really sure what that means, what that's for. But I can ask Bill and get back to you.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, so we need a motion to approve the local law to override the tax cap.
To say this was a challenging year, I think all the years I've been on the board and before the board and listening to the board, I think to say each one is a challenging year, and then we have this year, I don't know how it can get more challenging, but we somehow find a way to make it more challenging. So I think I just want to say, as far as the tax cap, I think we have a great budget together, and overriding the tax cap is definitely the direction the board needs to take for this fiscal year. So I'd like to move.
Second, Diane.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Donna, do you want to talk about the LoSAP?
Yes. We put the numbers up on the board for LoSAP for the 2020 year. There were no corrections. Chief Stewart gave me the paper that signs off that everybody agrees to the numbers they got. So he approved the 2020 LoSAP for this year.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2020 LoSAP for this year, 2021.
Second, Seth Harris.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
It's that time of year again where we have to get our contract for the plumbing and heating. Dwight has been doing the work for us, and we did not increase it again. This is the 5th or 6th year in a row that they haven't increased. So I'd like to have approval to have the mayor sign the contract for Dwight to do the preventative maintenance for plumbing and heating for the 250 and 280 properties.
So moved.
Second, Seth Harris.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's all I have.
All right, so I do have a letter from Bill Garvey to read, but just want to give the board an update. As we had previously discussed, and I think it was probably last year, we talked about a SAM grant, another SAM grant like we got for the nature trail. It's $125,000. We want to apply for that again. We were going to do it last year, but then the funding was halted. But it's to replace the basketball court up at the park, as well as do some work on the bathrooms. And Eric, if you want to jump in and you can talk about it a little more in depth than I can.
Sure. Thank you. And so as the mayor said, it's another $125,000 grant, largely in part to, Meg's good relationship with Assembly Member Phil Steck's office. It would replace the basketball court and the basketball hoops, and also install a grinder pump at the bathroom at Ganser Smith Park, and a sanitary sewer connection from the grinder pump back to the village system. Right now, the bathroom is served by a septic tank in Leachfield that is in some suspect condition, and so we're going to use those funds, or the village is going to use those funds to do those replacements. The
So,
application's just about ready to go. I need to get one more financial statement from Bill, and then we'll be in a position to submit that.
Eric, I assume that the septic system just predates the village sewer system?
Yes.
I don't think we know. We didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, I guess that's hard to say. Just not knowing how all the dates line up with when that went in versus when the sewer system went in on Menands Road. It's hard to say. I don't know why, if they did have sanitary in place, why they would have put a septic tank in, but hard to say.
Right. Yeah. It's sometimes you never know why a decision is made unless you were there.
Correct.
I think it was 2 summers ago, the toilets in the bathrooms weren't flushing right, and Mike did some research and found out it was on a septic, and nobody ever knew that.
Wow. Are the bathrooms that are by the concession stand, are they also on this septic system?
I don't think so. I think the line runs out the driveway out to Menands Road.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I recall Mike saying that, but we can confirm that. So yeah, so Eric's almost ready to get that. And then Eric, it took us quite a while to get the other one.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we'd plan on probably a year or so by the time we get through the various committee reviews at the state, at the assembly level, and then the administrator of the funds is the dormitory authority, and so they have a process to get through also. So we're probably looking at 12 months or so before we have an official approval and a grant agreement to execute.
Okay.
Eric, does the grant cover both the connection and then the remediation or whatever for closing the septic?
Yeah, what we would likely do is just pump out after we've made the connection with the grinder pump, and we're severed from the septic system. We pump out whatever's remaining, make sure that's good and clean, and then crush the bottom to allow rainwater drainage, and then fill it with fill. And at that point, we're pretty well good to go. So, but that is part of the grant.
Okay, cool.
All right. So then, on a separate note, we had a meeting last week with this couple guys from the city of Albany to talk about vacant buildings. And Brian, did you want to elaborate more on that?
Sure. So, Mayor and I have met with a couple of other municipalities. Albany and was the last one, and we wanted to kind of figure out a way to help Lyle with some of the duties of keeping tabs on vacant parcels, vacant buildings, buildings that have code violations and maintenance violations and that type of thing. Some sort of registry to keep all that information as far as the status of those properties, the ownership of those properties, the violations for those properties, all that kind of stuff, so that the information is readily available and constantly being relooked at for change in status, so that the village and the board, through its code enforcement and building development process, can make sure that parcels don't sit stagnant in deteriorating states for long periods of time, and we can hopefully spur them to new development. And so we're just trying to talk to other municipalities as far as what they do. Troy, certainly I have some experience with some of their processes, so we wanted to see what Albany's was as far as, vacant registries, fees for vacant parcels, if they remain vacant, and just some of the things that they do, and Chazen's been involved in that process. So hopefully we can bring something to the board for beefing up our vacant parcel rules and regs, so that we can, keep these parcels either being worked on or becoming productive quicker than some of the ones that have been sort of eyesores for a long period of time. Is that a good summary?
That was good. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Jessica,
Seth, did
anything?
you want to give an update on the Story Walk project?
I sure do. And I have some updates even from earlier today. So we are in the process of deciding on either the wooden kiosks or metal kiosks. And as of right now, it seems the direction will probably be the metal kiosks, but we just have to work with the committee to decide that. Right now, we're looking to have a decision before our next board meeting, so that we can get these kiosks ordered, and the time frame, whether it be any materials as well as anything prefabricated, would be in about 2 to 3 weeks. So we could, in theory, have these kiosks ready to put in early May. The posts, the 4x4 pressure treated posts that will go in the ground and connect to the kiosk tops, have arrived. We just have to pick them up and be in possession of them, but they are ready. They were donated by the Upper Hudson River Library System. So thank you to them and to Mary Fellows for doing that. So seeing that we will have materials and or prefabricated kiosks in early May, we'll hopefully be able to get those on the trails shortly thereafter, or even get the posts in before that, and then get those on. And we're looking at a late May grand, or we should say virtual grand opening of this, to coincide with an author visit from the school. The author, I learned this morning, is going to do a reading of the book that we are going to put on the story walk for our first book. He will do that virtually, like he will be doing for the school, but he's already planning to do that. So anyone who may have, whether they be vision problems or for any number of reasons, wants to hear the book read rather than read it, including young children and English language learners, will be able to do that using a QR code from the first post. So I'm excited that this is moving along the way that it is, and I'm excited that it looks like a late May virtual grand opening will happen.
Awesome. And I did connect Mike Hagman with the library to pick up the post, so that should be happening probably before the end of the week.
Excellent. And Kevin from Chazen is going to work with Mike to come up with how wide the trail needs to be, post placement, and just making sure that wherever the posts are and how wide the trail is, families that are gathered around each kiosk reading the pages of the book won't be standing in brush.
Right. Okay.
That's great.
Cool.
So lots of great things for families to do, and the feedback has just been great. When you tell families who have kids about that, the kids just light up. They're like, wow, hiking and reading, my two favorite things. I said, yeah, you can do them both simultaneously.
Nice. All right, thanks.
you.
Diane or Eileen, you got anything?
I do not.
I was muted. Sorry, I do not.
All right, so I had one letter from Bill Garvey. He noticed a large black vehicle parking in front of Village One Apartments. He notified the police because it's not supposed to be parking there. He doesn't know if the Menands police issued a ticket, but if they did, he wants to thank them for their job to enforce those state traffic safety rules and regulations dealing with parking. He wants to acknowledge some of the several signs that he thinks needs to be replaced in the village that are peeling or chipping. He submitted a list, so we'll give that to Don. And he thinks the board made the right decision for the GPS tracking system that we installed in the village vehicles. He hopes we will welcome his support for this policy. And that's it. We don't have anything else. I guess we'll leave.
I just want to remind everybody the budget hearing is Monday, April 12th at 6 p.m. It's next Monday.
Okay, thank you. All right, motion to adjourn.
So
Motion
moved.
to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Good night.
Enjoy the
No, good
beautiful
night.
evening.
Good night.
Good night.
See you Monday.
See you Monday.